Hello everybody, I wanted to do a little tutorial about Gyroflow and the Runcam thumb. Been seeing a lot of videos out there and people not quite getting a couple of the settings right due to some peculiarities with the Runcam thumb. And I want to show you what those things are and hope you can get some better results on it. So let's go ahead and start here. You can see Gyroflow release candidate 5 is out. And also on the Runcam you have to be running the new firmware 2.1. where they fix some of the data issues. Assuming all of that, go ahead and record your file and you'll get your Runcam thumb video. You open that in Gyroflow and you see it gives you a warning at the top that a lens profile is not loaded. That's sort of the first thing I would suggest you do, is that you apply a lens profile. Yes, you may not like the way it works, but it's important for Gyroflow because that's how it's able to do the auto sync. Okay, and it's okay because you also can adjust the lens correction strength of it to get it to a level in which you like. For the Runcam thumb, I kind of like 25%, but go ahead and play around with that setting if you like. Looking more on the left side here, it already brought in the motion data because the thumb names the gyro data with the .gcsv file. And so it automatically brings it in. You can see here's the gyro data at the bottom here. And so there's a couple things I like to work on. First of all, I'm not sure how important this is, but I'm scrolling the scroll wheel on my mouse and I'm zooming in to a very static portion of my video. And you can see the gyro data. If I move this up, it's not exactly centered in the middle. So if we right click here and click Estimate Gyro Bias, you'll see it centers it all up, and right here Gyroflow adds a gyro bias here, and you can see it's actually pretty off, but it really affects all of the data associated with it. Okay, and on top of that, Runcam suggests a low pass filter of 43 Hertz. I haven't had much experience with this making a big change at all, but hey, why not go ahead and do that? The third thing to do is to set your in and out points. So for my video here, I'm going to set it right after I sort of take off. Set that to beginning point. Also too, the sound can be annoying, so let's go ahead and just turn off the sound from this standpoint. So I'm going to do the starting point of my video, and I'm going to do the ending point of my video. This was taken on a ZOHD Dart 250G. And the good part about that is it's a really long video, so you can see some of the other oddities about the Runcam thumb as well. So I've set the start and end points of the video, and what's good about that is that then allows the auto sync to then not worry about those beginning and end parts. It really doesn't matter how aligned those are. But the most important thing for your auto sync is by default, I think it's set to 5 seconds, and the rough gyro offset to 0 seconds. These are fine. However, the reason why this needs to be 5 seconds is because as the gyro data gets recorded, it progressively gets more and more out of sync. So as you'll see here, when I run auto sync, it'll start to calculate on that video, doing some optical flow analysis of the video. You can see those points showing up here. I have it set to 9. Don't know why I chose 9. I think 3 would work fine. But you can see I have 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9. And it's actually doing an analysis of the video to then line it up with the gyro data. You can see here we're 316 milliseconds off, so that's a third of a second. And by the end of the video, we're now getting to 700 milliseconds off. Imagine if the video went even longer, we could be a whole second off. So the gyro data is actually being stretched non-linearly across the running of the video. It's not just a basic offset. So this is really important that you run auto sync, especially with your Runcam thumb. And if we zoom into these, I'm just scrolling with my scroll wheel here, you can see how well this was synced with that data. We also could edit these points. We can right click, click edit offset. Let's say for some reason it got it wrong. You can actually move this point back and forward, and you can see how now those points don't line up. So I'm going to go back, put it right back on top of there to sync it up, and click save. Or actually could just right click on here, delete this sync point, and run it again. Auto sync here, and it'll do 1 point at that location. If I'm feeling really paranoid, I'll go to the beginning of video, do an auto sync at the very beginning. See, it's at 296 milliseconds. And if I go all the way to the end, maybe I'll do one at the very end. Let that run. You can see it's 1718 milliseconds offset. So now all of our gyro data is all nice and clean going through here. This whole section about the field of view and the smoothness, that's up to you. This was running on a really windy day. This airplane was all over the place. And you can see now, if I click play, how much that airplane was bouncing around and jumping around here. All right? But the video is really nice and smooth. So I'm going to show you some of the screenshots, some of my settings on the next couple screens here, and this video from non-stabilized to stabilized. All right, everyone, have a good day.